In this chapter, we are going to look at how to use the log normal distribution to calculate the probability of certain stock prices. All right, there's a lot of formulas in this thing. I am not going to try to explain to you how all the formulas were derived. We're going to take them as a given and go from there. All right, but what I do find helpful when you have formulas is to first go through and define what all of the symbols in the formula means. So S is the current price of the stock. S1 is the estimated mean of the stock in 1 year. And sigma is the current IV index mean. This is a measure of volatility in the stock. This is similar to the standard deviation of the stock. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find the natural log, we need to find the mu. And so to do that, we need to use the formula to find the natural log of the number. So we're going to start our formula with an equal sign. So equals ln, and then we're going to do S1, which in this case is 33.26. And these were given in your textbooks, by the way, in case you were wondering. And then we're going to divide that by S, which is the current price of the stock. And when you do that, you should get 0.322. If you have more decimals showing, you could go on to 144. All right. T in this case is for time. And what we're looking for in this case is a 6-month period. So 1 would be a year, so we need half a year. So our time here is going to be 0.5. The next thing we're going to do is our mu for T. We're going to use this beast of a formula right here. This equals ln of the S plus T times mu. Yeah, so it's this thing. So we're going to plug and play in our numbers. All right, so we're going to start with our formula with an equals and then go ln. And then our S, remember, is our current price of the stock. Okay? Plus our time, which is 0.5 for half a year, times, and then open parentheses, our mu, which is this 0.32, minus 0.5 times sigma, which is our current IV index mean. And we're going to take that sigma to, we're going to square it, okay? All right, so you should get 3.3248. All right, make sure you've got all your parentheses in the right spot if you're having trouble getting that number, because that would cause an issue. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is calculate our sigma for T. All right, so your sigma equals, for T, equals the overall sigma times the square root of T. Okay, so that should get you 0.192, etc. All right, so say that now we want to calculate the odds that the price of the stock will be $38 or more in the next year. So in order to do that, we're going to use our log normal distribution, but actually we're going to use the inverse, because when we put it in here into this formula, it would give us what the odds would be of 38 and below, and we want to find out and above, so we use the inverse. All right, so 1 minus, and we use our log normal distribution, and our x here is going to be a trial value, and in this case that was 38. We want to know 38 or above. All right, our mean is this mu for T, and our standard deviation is the sigma for T, and for cumulative we want it to be true because we're calculating the odds of $38 and below, and we're taking all of them out. All right, so that should give you a probability of 5% that you will come up with a value for this stock that's over $38. All right, so what if we want to determine the odds that the price will be $20. All right, so in that case, you would do your log normal distribution, and your x would be 20. Now, we're not doing the inverse because we are wanting the odds that it would be less than or equal to 20, and that's what that this log normal distribution calculates. And so our standard deviation here is the same. I'm sorry, our mean is the same, and so is the standard deviation, and we want true. Okay, so there is basically a 4.3% chance that our stock will be below $20. Our stock value will be below $20 in 6 months' time. So say now we want to calculate the median price. This would be the price that the stock would be at basically 50% probability. So in order to do that, we use a log norm inverse function, and our probability would be 0.5, and our mean and standard deviation are the same as the previous formula, and there is no cumulative. So there is there is basically a 50% probability that the stock price will be $27. Okay. All right. Again, I hope this video has been helpful. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I do have one more thing that will help you with your homework. You are doing problem 3, and so it's essentially asking you for a two-tailed version of that 95%. So it wants to know, there's a 95% probability that the answer will be within a range, but it is asking you to leave off the bottom end and the top end. And so that's where you get that 0.025 and that 0.975, because there is a 5% probability, and you've got to put that at both the top end of the stock and the bottom end of the stock. So you take 2.5% off each. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense to you. Again, I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I hope you have a great day.